Spider-Man No Way Home is the blockbuster film breaking box office records.
It was an amazing action-packed film of one of the most recent Tom Holland movies.
So if you haven't seen it yet,
which I'd be surprised if you hadn't because it's been out for like a month now,
then we've got a non-spoiler review, so click up here if you want to see that. Otherwise, let's get into it.
Welcome back, Toby and Andrew.
Spider-Man No Way Home is smashing box office records.
But if you didn't know, this movie was almost not going to be made.
All three Spider-Man franchises have had a history of their films being cancelled. So when Marvel decided to pull out after trying to alter their deal with Sony to use Spider-Man, Spider-Man No Way Home would have fallen under the same curse of the other failed Spider-Man series.
It can't be stopped.
After a huge negative response from the fans of yet again another cancelled Spider-Man movie, Marvel and Sony finally worked it out and gave them what they deserved. And by that, we mean for all Spider-Mans.
The return of Tobey and Andrew not only saved Tom Holland's franchise, but both of their own.
For example, Andrew's franchise wasn't well received when it first came out. Although many people did like it, for others, it was hard to live up to its predecessor, the highly successful Tobey Maguire films.
The first movie was alright overall, but since the beginning of the first movie was more about Peter Parker's backstory, people found it was sort of same old, same old. When the sequel got even worse reviews, the series got cancelled and left a lot of unanswered questions, just like its predecessor.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was the franchise that set the bar for all the superhero movies.
When it was released in 2002, it was highly received by fans. The series had a perfect beginning about Peter Parker's origin story, plus iconic lines.
With great power comes great responsibility.
And memorable moments,
as well as amazing villains and characters, with all plots based around how with great power comes great responsibility.
Unfortunately, when the third movie got only average reviews, it too got cancelled and left the audience with so many unanswered questions.
When they finally made their return to the big screen, almost 20 years of Spider-Man fans finally got some closure to their favourite Spider-Man characters.
We finally got to know that Tobey's Peter made it work with MJ after that horrible cliffhanger end in Spider-Man 3.
And Andrew Garfield's Peter finally redeemed himself by saving MJ the same way he lost Gwen.
And Tobey's Peter saved the Green Goblin the exact same way that Harry saved him from Venom.
And Andrew's character was just so much more funnier and lovable when he was with the other two.
I mean, even for us, when we didn't even like Andrew in the first place, we actually loved every time he was on screen. He was hilarious. And for Tom Spider-Man, this movie finally gave him his origin story. Since we didn't really get to see Tom's origin as Spider-Man, this was a great way to finish so he can have a new beginning.
After watching him as a young Spider-Man from Queens who was helped out by Tony Stark,
which he had it pretty easy considering,
he now is exactly where his Spider-Man brothers are, ready to save the world on his own.
We had some great laughs.
Brought back some classic old lines.
My back.
They even talked about their differences, like what the fans wanted.
And they also had that little meme pointing picture in there.
It was also a great idea to keep the fans guessing and doing their own little sleuth work.
To find out for themselves if the three Spider-Men would be in the movie.
I promise you I am not the werewolf.
I heard about it, and I did see it, and it's a Photoshop.
On YouTube though, right? I mean, that's where you found that. Because you know that's all fake. It's all done on the computer.
I mean, a great way to hype up the film. And because of Spider-Man No Way Home, the rest of the Spider-Man movies weren't wasted. Thank you, Marvel and Sony. Thank you.
So thank you for watching our review on Spider-Man No Way Home.
Let us know down in the comments what your favourite part of this movie was. Honestly, everything was my favourite in this movie. Please don't forget to share, like, and comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you soon in our next video.
Bye!